Back on campus here in Glencoe, Alabama, we have Coach Barkley joining us, and we're going to talk a little volleyball now on this edition of Keeping Up with Glencoe Athletics. Coach, first of all, how have you been doing, young lady?
Oh, we're doing well. Everybody's rocking and rolling.
Coach, volleyball season to me, it kind of creeps up, but when it hits, it hits. The next thing you know, you're going to matches and matches, and then you're over into area play. It's kind of crazy how fast everything goes. But from media days, which we had audio issues in media days when I went back and watched it, but from there to now, kind of catch us up to speed on how the program's going.
You're right. Volleyball hits the ground running really fast. You play 3 days a week, including some Saturday tournaments, and you're playing. You can be, 15 games in a week pretty quick, and if you have games like we had last night, that can be a 2-hour game. And if you have multiple of those in a week, then that gets to be long and tiring, and the girls really have to be well conditioned and in good shape to handle that. But from here to now, we've gone and played some big schools. We started off the play with playing Hoax Bluff, and then we rounded the next week into playing Jacksonville and Alexandria and White Plains, and so we first 3 days of games that we played bigger schools, and the girls performed very well. We dropped the last set into Alexandria disappointingly by 3 points, and I was unhappy with that, but yet excited because Alexandria has always been a powerhouse around
perennial power, and
so if you can compete with programs like that, then you feel like you've accomplished something. And so just continuing to work that out. And I stepped into a new role in the counselor's office this year, so I'm not able to get down to the gym. I had been years past in the gym with the girls since 1 o'clock. So then by the time you finish practice at 5, you spent some time with them. And so Labor Day, the girls, I got to be in there the whole practice, not just the team development time, which is what I've been doing. And the girls were like, "Coach, we forgot how crazy you were." Because I get in and I jump around and I fly around with them and I go at them and stuff. But that shows when they play, because they fly around and they are loud and they can be obnoxious, and that's okay. That's what we want. So they're playing well. They're firing well. Like I said, we dropped last night, but it's all right. I'm going
to go back and touch on something you said right out of the gate. Hoax Bluff 4A, perennial power 5A in Alexandria, very good team in Jacksonville who's also 5A. All those, I know Hoax Bluff's very common right here because of the rivalry, but still classification up. Talk about that and how that does prepare you and the girls for what's down the road.
And then we play the very next game after that. We played Spring Garden and
1A champion back to back,
and Sandrock,
another perennial power.
So I want my schedule to be as full of teams like that as I can play. I don't, I'm not even, I wasn't going to say this. I'm pretty close to my 300th win as a volleyball coach.
Gotcha.
And I don't take that lightly, but it doesn't mean anything because I didn't do it, the kids did. But that happens. We might play 60 games in a year, maybe. A couple of state tournament years, we played 60 games or right at it. But that schedule, we probably only had 20 wins in it, because I'm going to go schedule the hardest teams that'll allow me to schedule them. Somebody, because that's part of it, is they got to be willing to let a 3A school come in there and let them play.
Right.
But now that we've had some state championship times in there, they're like, yeah, okay, we'll play you. Yeah. Okay, we'll play you. And now you start knocking it back with them, and they're like, dang, hey, let's make sure we get 2 next year.
Yeah.
And so that just sets you up to be 6A plays faster than 3A. 5A plays faster than 3A. So you want to play, but then when you get down and you get to play in those Mobile Christians or the Madison Academies or, or Madison, whatever, Montgomery Academy, whoever it is down there,
Montgomery
they
Catholic.
play fast.
Yeah.
And they're 3A, but they play fast. So you need to play the 6As and the 5As and the 4As just to be able to compete.
And the chances if you got 1,000 kids in your school, or if you have 200 kids in your school, the chances of having some 6-foot girls dramatically goes up as well.
Oh, 100%. My tallest girl's 5, maybe 5'8".
Yeah.
But so what do you do to compete with that?
But you're going to run across some 6'2", 6'3s.
You got to be able to get up and block with them. You got to be able to handle those things.
You can't let them have free reign at the net.
No, Lord, no.
You got to go challenge them.
Mm-hmm. And so what do? Well, you go find 2 Vertimax machines and you get on those Vertimax and you try to max out what you can. And right now I've got a middle that we did a little spring training thing. Bailey brought the boys up and they wanted to measure their verticals. My girls said, well, we do too. So they got up there and my middle jumps higher than any boy we have on campus.
Oh, that's crazy.
And
That's
she's
awesome.
only 5'7".
That's awesome.
And so it's just those kinds of things, just to try to push them. So, Bailey and the guy coaches, Coach Chambliss, they get in the gym and they push my girls. I don't have to do that alone. They partner with me and push. This is a great family.
It's a village around here to begin with.
Oh, it is 100%. And so that's a great thing. So it's not just that we are pushing them to be better. We're trying to schedule everybody. Everybody wants to support and make, and you can tell.
Let's dive into some X's and O's, so to speak here. Who are some of the girls that this year, we needed this girl, we counted on this girl, and she's delivering?
So right off the bat, my 2 returning outside hitters, you know they're going to carry the water. You know that they're going to do what they need to do. But I got 2 left-handers, and that's such a luxury to have, is 2 left-handed girls that go and just, so I've got 2 left-handers that can go. And the other night we were playing Spring Garden, and we were getting blocked a little bit in some spots, and I have to have one of my left-handers block middle 90% of the time. She's the kid that jumps the highest in the school, or has the highest vertical in the school. I needed her to put the ball down. That we were getting blocked a little bit, and I looked at her, and I just did this. She went and swung on the right side, and whack,
put
the ball down. And the referee after the game, he played a little bit of volleyball for the Army, and he comes over after, he goes, I saw that. I said, you saw what? And he goes, you just gave her a look, and she changed where she went, and the setter knew.
Put it down.
And they put the ball down. I said, and that's what she can do to deliver, and that's what we have to have, is not just, everybody knows those outsides are going to get the ball. Evelyn had about 500 kills last year. Mia had 28 kills in one night at White Plains the other night. They're gonna get theirs, but who can give me an offside? And it's been Millie.
Yeah.
It's been Millie Chambliss has been able to go up, get a good block, put the ball down, or get a good swipe on a back row attack from somebody. She did that last night a couple times against Finch girl from Ohatchee. And then again, against returning champs, Spring Garden.
Yeah, 2-time.
Yeah,
they've been good for a long time.
Exactly.
But like you said, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you said you played against Coach Bates and them, who would have some of those rings.
Yeah.
Had it not been for Addison or not Addison, but they would have some rings there too.
Yeah, and that's Ohatchee last night.
That's right.
They're state runners up from last year, and so this area.
They've been good since Jordan was there.
Yeah. This area is chock full of talented programs.
Right. Yeah, you don't got to go far. Mm-mm. One of the best facilities for volleyball is right down the road at Champions. And
for sure.
And then they have the Monciano camp up there in Gunnersville.
We love that. We go to that every year. We love that camp. And we love to go to coach to Jordan over there and get some things in.
You're sandwiched between it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's
girls
good.
have plenty of opportunity to play and to get better.
That's right. And look, and your girls, I know for a fact because I've seen them, they don't go home and eat Cheetos and hang out on the computers in the off season. I mean, they may do some of that, but
no, they're going to get in and work.
Yeah.
And they're happy to get into work. Hey, Coach, you didn't open the gym yesterday. Can you open it today?
Right.
I get those texts all summer. Well, I'm at the gym. I just didn't open it because I didn't know y'all wanted to come.
There you go.
Y'all come on. Y'all join me. And we got a little granddaughter. She blows her whistle and gets right after him. And Daniel said she's going to be meaner than any of them because she's grown up in it. And I said, well, some of them, the reason they are the way they are, they've grown up in a gym. Some of them are coaches' kids. Some are just coaches' kids' friends.
That's right.
And they just drag them to the, and that I can look around and see, oh, okay, you five. One day they were all at the house swimming. Hey, Coach, can you come and let us in the gym? We want to play. We've been in the pool this long now. We want to play volleyball. And that's what it was. It was the coach's kid and all her friends, and they just drug up and they play ball together every day.
Y'all didn't show up in August and say, hey, let's go play some volleyball.
Oh, no. No. And I tell you, the 2 hour a week that we get as coaches to be able to work with them in the off season, that sparks their hunger.
That's right.
We start that in February here.
It's a good carrot to dangle, so to speak.
Oh, yeah. And so we start that in February, and after basketball season ends, March, February, whatever it looks like. And then we're ready. So then when you get to June, the last week of June, when we can officially start doing things, they're ready. They're ready to hit the ground running. And we're not, getting the rust off at that point. They're
ready.
smooth and they're ready to go. And so you're able to push and look a little ready. Be game ready by the time it gets here.
No doubt. Well, Coach, I know you got stuff to do today, but before I let you get out of here, I always like to kick it back to the coach. Talk about anything program related, upcoming games, some things you guys got going on, any fundraisers, whatever it may be.
Well, we got a couple more area games this week. We play Piedmont tomorrow, and then we host. We got Westbrook after that, and then we've got 3 big.
Is Westbrook Saturday?
No, it's a tournament this Saturday, but it's Tuesday. We play Westbrook.
Okay. Is it over there or here?
You're going to make me think about the schedule for a minute. And I couldn't tell you if it's over there.
We'll look it up when we get out of here.
I'm sorry. But I host 3 big tournaments every year. So we've got, we got teams coming Saturday for a JV tournament. And then on the 20th, we got a big junior high tournament coming up. And then we'll host one in October to get ready for area tournament. So those are our big things that we like to do. But, if I'm going to talk about anything, I'm going to talk about the kids. The football team, we opened up our play on Thursday. Well, Bailey has the team practicing on Thursday morning, so he and the boys walked in about game time on Thursday afternoon, just on opening night, and they climbed up in those bleachers, and they were so loud, and so there's reels of them that have been all over TikTok and whatever.
On the Hoax Bluff game.
And
I was at that game.
They were so loud,
incredible.
and that's what it takes.
Yep.
That's what it takes is for your whole community and your whole school to be in and behind.
Yep.
And really push it. It doesn't matter if it's the football field, or the basketball, the softball, soccer, volleyball, track. It doesn't matter what it is. When other people are behind you and yelling for you, it makes it easier to go out and to dive on the floor and to give it all you got.
Yep.
So that somebody else might say, hey, I saw that. I saw that work. And that work didn't just happen on that moment, but that work pays off when you do that.
To me, it kind of unlocks what's already inside of them through the work stuff.
100%.
I agree with it. I was at that match, and it was an incredible atmosphere. They was on the
great.
Opposing top at the opposing bleachers, but the whole other bleachers was full.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the cars were parked all the way down to the middle school that day.
They were. Yeah.
I mean, it's
crazy. Big day. And we were the only thing going on. It wasn't like, Monday night we were here and there was volleyball games and there was football games. There was all kinds of stuff and there was no parks. But that night it was just volleyball.
No, it was volleyball. Yeah.
It's a great environment to be. It's a great, and I get it, the Hoax Bluff, Glencoe community, and open up with that. Yeah. But it's good. It's fun.
Coach, you're doing the humble brag. You didn't even mention y'all won that night.
We did. We won.
Also,
Spring Garden came in and.
Yeah.
That was That was a good win.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
That was a good win.
They don't lose many.
No, they don't. No, and that's what Rat said at the net.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah. We don't lose many. They can say Ace is gone or whatever, but Ace wasn't there and they're still winning championships.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And she did her thing.
She's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
But they won them before.
But they were winning before she played.
Yeah.
She only played the last couple of years.
And they're going to continue winning.
And they're going to continue winning. They aren't hurting.
I'm with you with that. Coach, I appreciate you sitting in. This one ran a little long, but we had to get everybody caught up. Thank you so much. All right, we're back in-house with Coach Bailey Blanchard, who is, Coach, I don't know if I can tell you how much of a big win that was at J.B. Pennington last week. A lot of sports writers and procrastinators I don't know what that word is, but people who pick games, 100% across the board picked you to lose last week. Probably a lot of people around the state did outside of these walls right here, but you went to a very hostile environment and played a pretty good football team at J.B. Pennington, got out of there with a win. Coach, take us back to last week and what had to take place for you guys to be in the situation to win that game?
Well, like you said, we like the motivation. We like to see that. We like to be the underdog. And, first year you're not going to probably go into a lot of these games being the favorite, and we like that. And so our kids were fired up. Went in there and it was their homecoming. So that also fired our kids up. But the guys went out there and they played hard. We got the bus. Our warm-ups weren't great, I will say that. But we kind of let them know pregame that that's not how we do things if we're going to turn it around. And I think as soon as we did that, they snapped into focus. And from the first kick, we jumped on them. We drove down there. Started a 10th grade quarterback, Jamin Mintz. It was his first varsity start. He played outstanding game, just cool, calm, collective. He's just a competitor. And then Jalen Hunter kind of transitioned into some defense. He's real valuable over there, and we still used him at quarterback in ways, used him at receiver. Caught a huge pass down the stretch on a tunnel screen, and we had a lot of guys that played really good the other night. And J.B. Pennington's a good football team. They're going to win some games in this region. They'll shake up the region. But I thought that our focus was good. We drove down first drive, scored. Defense gets off the field and they punt it to us, and Isaiah Young takes one to the house and puts us up 14-0. And me and the coaches have been talking about it. We just need something at the beginning to get us going in these games, and that happened. And so we just kind of rode that momentum. They're a good team. They fired back, scored some points, and then I think the momentum shifted the whole game as we went on a 2-minute drive right there, right before halftime. We knew they were getting the ball coming out. And we needed to score right there, and we drove down there with 1:40, and Jamin rolled out to Bryce Borntrager, who got his first touchdown of the season, and put a back shoulder ball of the money to him, and got our kids fired up, ready to play for the second half.
Coach, you mentioned that may have been the kick, or the return may have been the spark that started the fire, but once that fire gets built, it's got to maintain it, and you guys did that. What was it? I mean, did you guys sense? That's what we needed, something click, or what was it that you guys seemed like the effort obviously was there, but you weren't just like holding on for a win. I mean, you guys were the aggressor, so to speak.
Well, any coach is going to tell you, we still didn't think we played our best game yet. We played a lot better offensively this week. Still a lot we had to clean up, but Coach Terry, was not pleased with how we played on defense, and we're going to get that fixed, and he's done a great job this year, and his staff has done a great job getting those guys ready. I mean, they only gave up, really truly, I'd say 14 points. Right there at the end, they scored another touchdown, to make it 21. But they still played good. We're tackling a little bit high. We got a little bit tired, but we pushed through in the fourth quarter, and we're able to show, our off-season training kick in. And so we're still excited and ready to see us put our full offense, defense, special teams game together, and so that's what was exciting about us right now. And special teams had some big sparks. Like I said, the punt return, we had a lot of good kick returns. The first kick return set us up for a score. So, the week before against Westbrook, where we had terrible field position every time because their kicker is he's just amazing. He's a weapon. Now, in turn, this week, our return team was able to be a weapon for us. And so Coach Badgett does a great job with special teams, and everybody that helps. All of our coaches help on special teams. And so that was the emphasis, and it's going to be an emphasis this week. But, like you said, the spark was lit. And we felt like we had a good control of the game, and just had to, get onto them at halftime and say, this is not, we can't fall victim to what we have done in the past, and we got to go out there and continue to play every single play, don't matter if we're up or not.
Coach, this week's opponent is a team that you're very, very familiar with. Your playing days, your dad's coaching days, a coach that's been doing it seems like, 35 years, something like that, Coach Smith. But what have you seen from Walter Welborn on film? It's the same old physical, tough. That's what their mantra is. They wear all black. Talk to me about Welborn.
That's Welborn. You flip on the film every single year, and you feel like the guys have never left, because I swear they all look the same every single year. They're huge up front. They always got really good running backs, really good quarterback that can control the game. Very physical runner. So it's like Coach Smith does a good job of just continuing to reload every single year. And he does what he does, and he's had a lot of success, and he's one of the best coaches in the state. Has been for a long time. I got to play against him. That's what's cool about being in this region. Playing in the same region. I've got to play against a lot of these coaches, and even assistant coaches like his son. Played against Coach Thompson. Yeah. And so Jet played against Coach Thompson, and so that's really cool for him to get to see him before the game. But it's the same thing Welborn does. They're going to be physical. They're going to hit you in the mouth, and they're going to be ready to play. And Coach does a good job of getting them ready to play. We just got to match their physicality and take advantage of some things and protect the football.
Do you ever find yourself before these games, or when you're preparing, just sitting there going, "It's kind of weird"? Like I remember sitting in the locker room getting ready to go play against this guy, and my dad talking about him, and Coach Smith talking about him. Like preparing for them, and then now you're going against them in that same role.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely pretty weird. Yeah, it feels like I've been watching film on them since, I was in 7th grade, and so Dad would pull up the film, and I'd be watching it with him. Then 9th through 12th grade, I got to play against them. So it definitely feels a little weird that I played against them. Now I'm getting to coach against them. But it's fun, and I enjoy it. And I found myself kind of getting in some routines now. That I've kind of settled in. One of the routines I always do is I sit there and I talk to my dad before every game. And, I just look up in the sky and talk to him for a minute. And, I do a lot of the same things he did watching film-wise, trying to find tendencies, trying to find this. And, he had a lot of respect for all the coaches in the region. And, Jeff Smith and Steve Smith, two of the guys I'm getting to go against early on, that's two really good coaches right there. And, Dad would always really, really study up Welborn, because that it can hurt you. The offense they do, if they keep the ball away from you, it can hurt you on offense, and he does a good job of that. So we just got to find a way to get off the field on 3rd down, and we got to find a way when we have the ball to score it and put points up, because they go for 2 also, so that can put you in a situation. So it's a little bit of a chess match as well.
Coach, a couple more questions before I get out of here. How proud are you of the bounce back? Because a lot of teams. And I'm not taking shots at nobody, but a lot of teams in this area, when they lose a game like you guys suffered, you can, that thing will come off the rails in a heartbeat. Absolutely. With modern day, because people get on social media, they hear, this is the same old so and so, or whatever it may be. Not saying here at Glencoe, but I'm saying just in general, it's society we live in. How proud are you of the bounce back? That had to be awesome to see.
I'm so proud of this team. We have a great senior group that's just good leaders, and they got everybody together after the game and talked to them and said, hey, that's one game, don't define us. And I'm very proud of them. And we talk about it all the time. What matters is in this locker room and inside this locker room. Nothing outside matters, because there's always going to be talk. The media is always going to talk. Fans, even your own fans, that there's lukewarm fans sometimes. We know the guys that are with us, and we know that the 53 guys out there and the coaches and the staff that help us every Friday and the faculty up there, they support us, and that's all we care about. We care about these guys in the locker room. The outside noise does not bother me. And I'm just proud of the guys for responding, especially in today's generation, like you said, with social media the way it is. There's a lot of people like Average Joe's that does a great job just promoting the kids and getting them out there and promoting schools and shining the light. But there's also a lot of people that like to put you down, and that's how they get their clicks. And so we talk about that. Like, everything in here is what matters. These people are what matters. And there was probably talk about Westbrook. It's going to be the same old year. I'm probably sure there was some of our fans saying that, but like I said, we believe in the ones that's going to stick with us in their every game, and they're going to stick with us to the end, and just got to keep believing.
Anybody that wants to hear other coaches' perspective on that, and you watch Coach Kelly's show after week 1, I don't really want to talk about it here on this show, but I'll tell you after we turn this camera off. But he identifies in people. It's pretty funny. But after the camera goes off, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
You guys are welcome to look it up. Keeping Up with Cherokee
Absolutely.
County Athletics, first show this year. Coach, before we shut it down, I always like to kick it back to you. One thing I would like to throw in there before I kick it back: we're not on the hill. We're here at home this week, right? With Glencoe. So talk about that a little bit, and then anything else program related.
Yeah, going to the hill is one of the toughest places to play for sure. I mean, it's intimidating going over there, and you got to get over the fact of the big hill, and they got Coach Smith's name up there now. But I'm glad we have it at home, and like I said, the last question about people that's talking about that, we also have a very, very good community, very, very good fan base that are going to come out here. They're going to show out. They're going to be loud. They're going to be proud. We had a great crowd that went to JB Pennington. That's the farthest game we'll go this year, and they showed up for us, and they cheered our boys on, and so glad to be back with our student section, cheerleaders, band, everybody here cheering us on, and it's a very big region matchup, and I want everybody to know that it's a very big opportunity for the program. It's a very big opportunity for these guys who've worked hard all summer. Like I said, I care about these guys, and they put in the work. They put in 100% effort. They're in the weight room there doing film, and it takes a lot to be a football player, and you got to be a man to do it. And I tell them every day, you're a man for doing this, and just keep sticking with it. It's going to pay off, and just very excited to be back home. Very excited. It feels like we've been gone forever. You can ask Coach Williams, when you had to paint the field and keep it, keep the lines marked. It feels like you've been gone forever. It's only been 2 weeks, but.
Feels like an eternity.
It feels like it, but we're excited to be home in front of our fans and put on a good show, and hopefully go 1-0 again this week, and see where that puts us going into the off week, and get healed up and get ready for Hoax Bluff. So, like I said, we've talked about it before. There's not an awful easy week on our schedule. So very excited for this game. I think it's going to have a lot of talk around the state, especially in 3A football. So just go Jackets and on that one.
Coach, I appreciate you sitting in with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.